Okay, will the December meeting of the Town of Poughkeepsie Zoning Board of Appeals please come to order? Would you rise for the pledge to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This is a short meeting, but just for the record, the procedure of the ZBA is to divide the meeting into two parts. During the first part is devoted to public hearings on the applications that we have before us. And for each of these public hearings, we'll ask the applicant to come forward and to be sworn in. All testimony before the ZBA must be sworn testimony. At that point, we'll ask the applicant to give us a very brief description of what variance or special use permit they are seeking. And the board will then have the opportunity to ask questions. When the board is finished with its questions, the floor will be open for public comment on that application, but on that application only. And again, anyone that wishes to address the board must be sworn in first. When we've held the public hearings on each of the applications, we then switch into the deliberation phase of our meeting. During that part of the meeting, there's no further public input, but of course, it's an open meeting and people are welcome to stay and listen to the deliberations. There are two items and then one procedural matter before us. Item number one is Dr. Satish Modi, 23 Davis Avenue. This was a public hearing that was adjourned to this meeting in anticipation of action by the planning board on the environmental review. That review has not yet been completed, so we cannot act on this application until the environmental reviews are finished. So I would ask that item number one be adjourned to our meeting on January 8th. So I will make that as a motion. I move.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Recusals?
One recusal.
One recusal? Okay. All right, so let that be noted. Okay, I forgot to mention, two of our regular members are absent tonight, and so our two alternates, Paul and Phyllis, will be full voting members. Okay, item number two, James and Madeline Gallagher, 501 Stanton Terrace. Okay, would you just come up and be sworn? Actually, first, state your name. You can just sit down and state your name into the microphone for the record.
James Francis Gallagher, 501 Stanton Terrace, Poughkeepsie, New York.
Mr. Gallagher, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be advised that you are under oath and any false statements made by you are subject to perjury pursuant to the laws of the state of New York.
I understand.
Okay, so could you just briefly tell us what the project is?
We put in a variance to build a deck on our house, approximately the length of the back of the house, 12 foot wide, 35 feet long, with a three-season enclosed room on one end of the deck.
Okay. And the reason that you need a variance is that it's too close to the side lot line?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Okay, all right, okay. Betty, any questions?
No, it appears to me that he's going to duplicate what his neighbor has.
Yes.
Okay. Art?
No questions.
Okay. I don't have any questions, but I just want to clarify for the record that the side of the three-season room is going to be the same distance from the property line as the house
is correct.
currently is. Okay,
Yes.
so it'll be no closer.
No closer.
Okay. Tony?
I have no questions.
Okay. Paul?
No questions.
Carmen?
No questions.
Phyllis?
No questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I don't think there's anyone in the audience that wishes to address this. Correct me if I'm wrong. No? Okay. Okay, in that case, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Recusals? Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Need a break.
Okay,
Take a break.
yeah. This is the last of the public hearings. So item 1 has been adjourned, so now we'll do the deliberation on item number 2. Any comments?
That backyard drops off for the whole line of houses right on that street. It drops off in the back
Yeah.
and shortens their backyard considerably.
Right, and, I mean, one of the things we often look at is, would there be an alternative placement for it?
Not there.
Given the way it drops off in the back, and on the one side there's a driveway, it's,
Right.
you pretty much have to put it right along the back, so, okay. Okay, let me suggest as findings, so let me put this in the form of a motion. I move that the board finds as follows. Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood. The board notes that the proposed deck and three-season room will be no closer to the west side yard than the house currently is. The board further notes that there are very similar additions that have been made to houses in that neighborhood. In particular, the house immediately to the east. 2, whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other method. The board notes that the configuration of the lot, which drops off sharply from the road, and the presence of the driveway on the eastern side, leaves virtually no other location for this construction. 3, whether the requested variance is substantial. The variance is substantial in the sense that the setbacks are only about 40% of the required. But on the other hand, it will be no closer to the property line than the existing house. 4, whether there will be an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environment. The addition is being built over a concrete slab that's there right now. There will be no new disturbance of anything as a result of this construction. And 5, whether the difficulty is self-created. It is self-created in the sense that the applicant sought to put this addition, but it's not self-created in the sense that the constraints on the location of a deck were pre-existing. So move.
Second.
Comments, changes, additions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Recusals? Okay. Let's see, I don't know, Betty, do you want to make the?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
I move that the board approve the request for an area variance set forth in item number 2. This decision is based on a review of the application, the testimony of the applicant, I can't talk tonight, testimony offered in the public hearing, results of site visit by board members, and in approving this variance, the board adopt as findings the determinations as read by the chairman.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve the variance in item 2, been made and seconded. If there's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Recusals? Okay, thank you very much. The only other item is a request from the planning board that they serve as lead agency for the environmental review of a project known as the Manor Hill Community Project. And just briefly, this is a development of what is now a vacant lot that's located on North Grand Avenue. If you go out North Grand, where the rail trail intersects, there's an at-grade crossing there. And immediately to the right, and bordered on the rail trail, there's a vacant lot. And it's a little over 5 acres. And the proposal is to develop this into 22 lease lots for mobile homes, manufactured homes. And this would connect with the mobile home park that is up on the hill off to the left of Van Wagner Road. Okay, as you go out, almost to the underpass, and you go up to the left. And what would happen is that those two mobile home parks would connect. And one of the things they want to do is then there would be a road, or then the combined trailer park would have an exit onto Grand Avenue as well as onto Van Wagner, which makes some sense in terms of both traffic and convenience. Anyway, that's the proposal.
Fire coverage too.
And it's going to involve a rezoning of the vacant lot from R20 to the MH, the mobile home designation. And of course, there'll have to be a full environmental review. And there's also, let me see, there's one other issue. It will require a special use permit. So we may or may not see this before us at some point, but this is simply a designation of lead agency. So does anybody have a issue with that? Okay, so I move that the ZBA approve the request from the planning board to serve as lead agency for the environmental review of the Manor Hill Community Project at 246 North Grand Avenue.
Second.
Okay, there's no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recusals? Okay, that brings us to the end of the agenda. By my watch, it's 12 minutes. That is, I think, a record for us. The only other item is to wish everyone very happy holidays. We're back here again on June 8th, so or January 8th. So so I hope everybody has a restful and relaxed time between now and then. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Okay, very good.